Hello and welcome, my dear students, to the much awaited video for Grade 8 Elite. Today, I, Ms. Ruchika, bring for you Math End of Term Coverage presentation with all the detailed solutions that are going to help you for the Term 2 exams. Today's video is going to be part 1 of the session. It's going to be a long video where I'm going to be covering all the important questions that are going to come for your exam for the multiple choice from part 1 for the term 2 exams. So stay glued with me till the end of the video and make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel Mathematics Made Easy. So let's start the video and see what I have in store for you. So I have here in front of you the exam pattern that will be there for your coming exams. There are going to be 3 parts as you see for grade 8 elite exam. Part 1 is going to be multiple choice, 10 questions having 3 marks each, so 30 marks. Part 2 will be 10 questions of 5 marks each, so 50 marks. And part 3 will be the free response question that you have to do on the pen and paper. Show the steps, show the working, that will be 20 marks. There will be 2 bonus questions of 5 marks each in your exam also. Total marks will be 110 and you will get 120 minutes or 2 hours to complete the exam. The exam will be both online and pen and paper based. Online will be on Swift Access and pen and paper based would be on the printed sheets. You have to show the steps, solve it with your pen. Calculator is not allowed by the ministry. So these are the 10 questions of part 1 multiple choice questions from your book. Some are concepts, the learning objective is mentioned and the page number is mentioned. So we are going to be covering them one by one in today's video. Let's get started. The first concept is of graphing exponential functions. If you see, exponential functions are of 2 types, exponential growth and exponential decay. Exponential growth is increasing, exponential decay is decreasing. The key concept and the important equation, domain and range, intercepts and behavior is shown here. I have taken here some questions from page 482, question 2 and question 3, and you are given the answers for these questions. So what type of behavior is shown in the table? Definitely it is exponential behavior, as it is as you see 2, 6, 18 and 54 are increasing exponentially. Then you have open response, explain the end behavior. Again, it is a growth function, it is increasing. So as x increases, y increases, and as x decreases, y decreases. So on the left and right of the graph, you have the end behavior. Let's recall the concept of geometric sequences. A geometric sequence is a pattern of numbers that begin with a non-zero term, and each term is found by multiplying the previous term by a non-zero constant r. This constant is called common ratio. Dividing a term by the previous term results in common ratio. So these are important concepts and we are going to use these concepts now for solving these questions of check on page 466. Determine whether each sequence is geometric. If so, determine the common ratio. So this is the first term, the second term, the third term, and so on. The numbers are 8, 20, 50, and 125. So as you see, dividing a term by the previous term results in common ratio. So this sequence is a geometric sequence or not. We are going to check by finding the common ratio. So let's divide 20 by 8. 20, if I take 20, the second term, the previous term is 8, so I'm dividing by the previous term. If I take 50, the previous term is 20, I will divide by that. If I take 125, the previous term is 50, I will divide by that. Now we need to check whether on division they are going to give the same number or not. So this is giving 2.5. This is also giving 2.5 and this one is also giving 2.5. So it has a common ratio. All the numbers when divided are giving the same number. So the common ratio is 2.5 and yes, it is a geometric sequence because it has a common ratio. Next is negative 0.7, 0.07, this and so on. Again, we are going to find the common ratio by dividing. So if I take the second term, the previous term is this one. Now observe, one is positive, one is negative, one is positive, one is negative. So it is alternative. So again, we are going to check by dividing for the common ratio. Similarly, you can divide 0.07 0.07 with 0.07, the previous term. So when we are dividing by the previous term. So let's see what is the answer on dividing. So 0.07 divided by 0.7. The first common ratio is coming out to be negative 0.1. Let's do the next one. Next one is 0.0007 divided by 0.007. Again, there's a negative sign. It is giving the same common ratio. So therefore, all three are same. Yes, it is a geometric sequence and the common ratio is negative 0.1. Observe the first term is negative sign, then positive, then negative, then positive. So alternative sign. Similarly, you can do the check. Find the next three terms in the geometric sequence. Now this is given to be a geometric sequence. Yes, it's already given. So that means you have to see just what is the common ratio and then multiply. So common ratio, let me solve here. Common ratio for A part. So we are doing A part first. 243 divided by 729. Anyone you can just pick up and then divide with its previous term. So 243 divided by 729. This is giving you 0.333 reoccurring decimal, or you write it 1 by 3. This is the common ratio in fraction. So to get the next term, you are going to again multiply. See, to find the common ratio, divide each term by the previous term. This is what we have done. And to find the next term, you multiply the previous term by r. So to get after 81, the next term will be 81 multiplied with 1 by 3. So when I divide, it is 27. Next term will be 27 multiplied by 1 by 3, so 9. Next is 9 multiplied by 1 by 3, so 3. So the numbers that are going to come here is 27, 9 and 3. In a similar way, you can do the next question. First, you have to find the common ratio. So you see a negative sign. 44 is going to be divided with 4 and the negative and negative is cancelled. So the common difference or the common ratio, I would say r is equal to 11 here. So for the next term, minus 484 will be multiplied with 11. The terms are getting bigger and bigger as you see. So the next term will be bigger. So you multiply the two numbers and what you get is 5324. So next term will be negative 5324. After that again we multiply with the same number, that is 11. So it becomes bigger and bigger, and the next one would be 58564. Similarly, do 58564, and remember each time you are getting a negative sign, not to forget. So I'm going to change color and write, and the last number here would be multiplied by 11. So this is going to be a big number, 644,204 with a negative sign. So the numbers that are going to fill here will be negative 58564 and negative 644,204. So you see the pattern. The first is a decreasing sequence, geometric sequence, and this is increasing. It becomes bigger and bigger. Next, we are going to solve some questions on mean, median, and mode. So let's recall the definition. How do you find mean? You add all the numbers and divide by the total number of numbers that are given in the set. So add all the numbers and divide by the total number of numbers. That's your mean, number one. Then median is always the middle term. So the number in the middle when the number are placed in order of the value. So before you find the median, make sure you arrange in ascending order and then find the median. Next is mode, which is the number that's most repeated, so it will be the most easiest to form. So let's solve question 1 to 9 now in the next slide, one by one. I'm going to begin with question 1, 2, 3 and 4. So when I find the mean, before I do anything, I have to first arrange in ascending order. So let's find 8, next is 10, next is 11, 15, 16, 17, 20, 28. So I arrange from small to big, and then I find the mean. So I add all the numbers: 8 plus 10 plus 11 plus 15 plus 16 plus 17 plus 20 plus 28, and then I divide them by the total number of values. So if you count them, these are 8 numbers. So the mean is going to be coming out to be 15.625. Then we find the median. Now, if you look at the median, there are two medians actually: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 even numbers. So the median is going to be in the middle. That means it is between 15 and 16. So I take 15 and 16, add them and divide by 2. I take the average, so it gives me the median as 15.5. Now all the numbers here are not repeated. There is no repetition, so the mode is going to be not there. So there is no mode for this question, or none. Okay, because there's no repetition at all in the numbers. Let's go to the next question, question number 2. For question 2, again we arrange in ascending order. So the minimum is 1.1, then 2.5, 3.5, then 3.9, 4.0, then 5.3, then 6.2, 6.4, repeated 6.4 and 7. Okay, so again I do the same thing. For mean, I add all the numbers and then I divide by the total number. So total is 10. So when you do that, the mean would come out to be 4.63. Then you go over to the mode. Mode is the most repeated, and if you see carefully, only one number is repeated here, that is 6.4. So 6.4 is the mode. For median, we take the middle values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 numbers. So the middle value will be in between. That is the average of 4.0 plus 5.3 divided by 2. So this is going to be 4.65. Let's do the next one. Here you are given the numbers in the form of a table. Nevertheless, the method to solve is same. You have to first arrange in ascending order like this, and then do the mean, median and mode. So the mean comes out to be, so just add all the numbers: 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, and these are in total 10 numbers. So the mean is going to be 3.3. The mode is the most repeated value, very easy to observe, that is going to be 2, and median is going to be the middle number. So I'm going to take average of the middle numbers 2 and 3 here. So 2 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 2.5. Next we do the last question, which is question number 4. Arrange in ascending order first. So that's what I'm doing. This is going to be the ascending order of the numbers. In all, there are 12 numbers. So when I take mean, I divide by 12. So I add all the numbers till 110, and then I divide by 12. So this is 50. Median is 45 and mode is 10 and 30. Okay, so let's solve question number 5 using the same formula. We are going to use the formula for mean by adding all the numbers and then dividing by the total numbers. So let's arrange these numbers in ascending order. The simplest and the smallest number is 1, then 3, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 8, then the maximum 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 numbers. So for the mean, we will add all these numbers: 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11, and we are going to divide it with 7. So the mean is going to be 5 on simplification. Mode is the most repeated value. So if you see, only number 3 is repeated 2 times, so mode is 3. Median is the middle term, and here the number of terms are odd, so the median is going to be unique. So median is going to be, this is lower half, this is upper half, so in the center you have 4, so median is 4. Let's do the next one now. So here 199 is the smallest, repeated 1 time. then 200, then 201, then 201. So I arrange in ascending order. Again, we find the mean by adding them all and then dividing it with 5 because there are 5 numbers. So on simplification, doing the calculation, this comes out to be 200 as the mean. Then we go on to median. Median is the middle term, you all know, and there is a unique middle term. This is lower half, this is upper half, so the middle is the center, which is 200. And then mode here is going to be two numbers because 199 is also repeated two times and 201 is also repeated two times. So 199 and 201 both are going to be the. Let's do the next question. So smallest number is 52, arrange in ascending order. This is going to be 53. 53 comes 3 times, then 55 comes 2 times, 57, and then 16 is the maximum. So we add them all for the mean, and on adding them we divide by 8, that is the total numbers that you have. So the mean comes out to be 54.75. We have it in decimals. Next we go on for the mode, and if you see, the mode is the maximum repeated value, so it is 53. So mode is very simple, 53, it is repeated 3 times. And for median we have to take the average because there are two medians. So if you see in the middle there are two numbers, 53 and 55. So the median is going to be the average of these two. So you divide them by 2. So 53 plus 55 divided by 2 is going to give you 54 as the median. So this is how you solve the question. Let's solve similarly by arranging in ascending order. So the smallest number here is 3, then 7, then 21, then 23. It comes twice, and then 27, 29, 63, 95. So for mean, you add all these numbers, and when you add them, you divide the result that you get by 9 because there are 9 numbers. So just add them all and divide by 9. Now when you do that, the answer that you get is in decimal, 32.33. So it's near about 32. Then you have median. Median is the middle term. So here, because the number of terms is odd, it's 9. So you can group in 4 and in group of 4. So the middle term is unique. So the median is 23. Also, if you look carefully, the mode is same because 23 is repeated 2 times. Okay, let's do the last one. So here you see some decimals. This is 2, 5, 3.54, 4.51, 1, 4, 2, 1.5, 2.5, 2, 3 and 3.5. So you have to be very careful in arranging them in ascending order. We start with the smallest number 1, then 1, then 1.5, then 2, 2 is coming 3 times, 2.5 then 3, then 3.5 is coming again 2 times, then 4, 4 comes twice, 4.5 and 5. So we have taken all the numbers, these are 14 numbers. So mean is going to be 1 plus 1 plus 1.5 till 5, and then you divide it with 14. So this comes out to be 2.821. Okay, then we have the median, which is the middle term. These are even numbers, so there are going to be two middle terms. So if you look carefully, 2.5 and 3, these are in the middle. So 2.5 plus 3 divided by 2, that's going to give you 2.75 as the median. Next we go on to mode. So for mode, you see the repeated digit. So 2 is repeated 3 times, maximum number of times. Therefore, the mode is 2 here. So I hope you have understood how to find the mean, median and mode for different types of data sets. In this slide, I have given you from question 1 to question 9 all the answers in one slide so that you can check your answer, and this is how we are going to get the answer. Let's move on to the next slide. Now you need to, in this one, add all the set of numbers that are given to you. So you are given different numbers, you just have to add them. Some are decimals, some are fractions. If you see carefully, here you have decimals to be added. So decimals you are going to add with the decimal points. And then you have fractions also. So fractions also you are going to add using the LCM. So let's do it and see in the next slide how to solve them. So let's solve the first question. Here you see some numbers which are decimal. So I'm going to arrange them in vertical form and then add using the place value system. So 13.2, then 15 is just 15, so I'll put a 0. Then 17.68. Now I write them one below the other in vertical form and I have to add them. So here you see two decimal places. Here you see one decimal place. So I'm going to add one more decimal place. So how much is this going to be? 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 0 plus 2 is 8. Then decimal. Then 7 plus 5 is 12. Plus 3, 15. So 5, 1 carry on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 45.88 is the answer. I hope you can see how I'm taking the decimals according to their number places. Similarly, now let's add these numbers. 2.36, 8.1. Now I write them one below the other and I add 0 wherever required and then I add them up. So this is going to be giving you 16.91. Now let's solve this one. This is easy. Minus 8 plus minus 4 plus 1 plus 5. So 1 plus 5 is 6. Minus 8 and minus 4 I add together. So it gives you minus 12. Now minus 12 plus 6 is going to give you a negative sign minus 6. Now look at this one. This is different. Here you see fractions. So when you have fractions with different denominators, like the denominator here is 3, 4, 6, 10, all are different. What you do is the LCM. Always remember. Okay, so if you don't have a calculator, then you can use the method of LCM for solving this question. So for LCM, we try to make the denominators equal. So let's write the denominator 3, 4, 6 and 10 and we start dividing them till we get all factors done. So we first start with even number 2. 3 is not divisible. 2 2s are 4, 3 2s are 6 and 5 2s are 10. Then I divide with 2 again. So this is 3, 1, 3, 5. Now I divide with 3. So this is 1, 1, 1, 5. Now I divide with 5. So all are 1. That means LCM is done. Khalas. So the LCM is this number. 2 multiplied with 2 multiplied with 3 multiplied with 5. So that is going to be 60. So LCM is 60. Now we have to convert these four fractions with the denominator 60. So what should I multiply with 3 to get 60? I will multiply with 20. So I take with the numerator and multiply. This is the method of LCM. What should I multiply with 4 to get 60? That is 15. So I multiply with the numerator. Similarly, 5 multiply with 10 plus 9 multiply with 6. Simplify, this comes out to be 189 by 60. Again, there is a common factor of 3. I divide by 3 to write the simplest fraction as 63 by 20. Now I can convert this improper fraction where numerator is more than denominator into a mixed fraction. So how do I write? 60 is a multiple of 20. So 3 multiplied with 20 is 60. And how much should I add to get 63? 3. So 3 by 20, that's the mixed fraction. Now this question you could have also done if you were allowed a calculator using decimal. So you convert them to decimal. 2 by 3 into decimal, 3 by 4 into decimal, 5 by 6 into decimal and 9 by 10 into decimal. So in decimal form it will come out to be the sum as 3.15. So actually both answers are correct. If you get in ministry exam decimal, you will choose this. If in ministry exam you get mixed fraction, you will choose this as your answer. I hope it is clear. This is an important question on mixed fraction. Next question, we have example 2, and here we have to write each fraction as a percent. When I say percent, I always multiply with 100. So when you get a question, write the fraction as a percent. The rule is to multiply by 100. That means you convert, for example, this is 33 by 80. I will do it for you. You convert this to decimal and then multiply with 100. So this is going to be, on simplification, 41.3%. Okay, now let's round off question 5, 6, 7, and 8. So for question number 5, you have 14 over 17, the fraction. Now you just multiply it with 100 and convert to percentage. So this is going to be equal to 82.35. Now it says round off to the nearest tenth. That means one decimal place. So this percent would be equivalent to 82.4%. Similarly, you can do the remaining. 7 by 8 multiply with 100 would give you 87.5%. 107 by 125 multiply with 100 would give you 5.6%. And last but not the least, 625 over 1024 multiplied with 100 is going to give you 61.03%. So now you can check your answers and you can round them off to the nearest 10. Okay, next we have an example 1 on graph and label the point. So here we are using the coordinate plane, the coordinate system, the x and the y axis. You have to be sure that when you are plotting a point, you are using the sign convention. So I will repeat in case some of you have forgotten. This is the x horizontal axis. This is the y vertical axis. The sign convention that we follow is that as we go up on the y-axis, it is positive. As we go down, it is negative. As we go on the left, it is negative of x-axis, and on the right, it is positive. So we start at the origin. Because the x-coordinate is negative, we move 3 units to the left and then move 4 units up because the y-coordinate is positive. So your point minus 3 comma 4 is going to lie here in the second quadrant. And if you see, one more thing I will add here, the first coordinate has positive positive, this has x positive, y x negative, y positive, this has both negative, and this has x positive, y negative. So we first write the x coordinate and then the y coordinate. So this is called the quadrant system. I will change color and mark here in case you have forgotten. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Okay, so let's graph the points w, x, y, z. Accordingly, if you see, W has x negative, y positive. That means it is going to lie in the second quadrant. X is both positive, so first quadrant. Y is both negative, so third quadrant. And Z is x positive, y negative, so fourth quadrant. So this is how the points are going to be on the coordinate plane. Next, we have the question on example 1, where you need to refer to the figure for solving the questions 1 to 7. So here you see one plane figure is given, and you are given a lot of points, planes, lines, and all of that. So here there are multiple answers for some of the problems. So I have kept here only some solutions that you see. So name the lines that are only in plane Q. So when I say plane Q, it means this plane, the bottom plane, the green plane. So in this plane, what all lines you see? You see line N. Remember, line is both sided, and you see line Q. So therefore the answer is line N and line Q. You can also name it as line HL or LH. That is also going to be correct answer. How many planes are labeled in the figure? If you see carefully, there are two planes. One is plane R. See this point which is written separate corner is the name of the plane. So plane R, and this is plane Q. The remaining points are points. So they are not the name of the plane. The plane name is in the corner without any point. Name the plane containing the lines M and T. This is line M, this is line T. So as you can see, they are in the plane R. So plane R or plane you can also name with the points as A, B, C plane. Name the intersection of lines M and T. This is line M, this is line T. Both meet at the point C. So definitely C is the point of intersection. Name a point that is not coplanar with the points A, B, C, D. Not coplanar means not in the same plane. So we first go to the points A, B, C. A, B, C. These are the 3 points that lie in the plane R. So if I say we need to find points which are not coplanar, means they are not in the same plane. So all these points cannot be the answer. You have to go to this plane. So there can be so many answers. You can select point P or D or M or G or H or L. All the points which are lying outside plane R will be your answer. Now check for the points F, M, G, P. Are they coplanar? Are they in the same plane? So let's go to the points first. This is point F. This is point M. They are definitely not on the same plane. M is outside plane R. Then G and P. G and P are in this plane Q. So all are in different planes. So they are not coplanar. It is impossible to put points in the same plane. So it is not coplanar. Does line L intersect line Q? Line L, line N, sorry. So this is line N, as you can see. Does it intersect line Q? Both are different. One is here, one is here. So they are not meeting at all. Therefore, uh, they are not meeting. So the answer is yes, the lines extend in two opposite directions forever. Since line N and Q are on the same plane and not parallel, they will eventually intersect. So this is a tricky question. If you just see this part of the line N and this part of the line Q, it doesn't intersect. But if you extend, let me do that. If I extend it and I extend this line also, then eventually at some point they are going to meet. Why they are going to meet? Because they are in the same plane, plane Q. That's why the answer for this question is yes, that the lines are going to intersect because they are in the same plane, and eventually when you extend them, they are going to be intersecting. They are not parallel lines. Okay, so this is a tricky one. Now this one is very simple. We just have to solve the equation in one variable. So if you see in example 1, the unknown variable is x. So you solve for x. Similarly, in questions 1 to 4, we have to solve for the value of x. So let's do it one by one. I'm going to do the first one here. And we are going to use multi-step equations for solving this. So I need the value of x. The method that we are going to use is isolation. So because I need the value of x, I need to isolate or leave alone this x. So I'm going to move this 9 which is there on the other side. When it moves on the other side, it will change sign and become positive. So this is 189 equal to 3x. Now you need the value of x, so you are going to divide both sides by 3. Why do we divide? Because division is the opposite of multiplication. 3 was multiplied with x, so in order to get rid of this 3, we are going to divide. So x is going to be 63. That's the answer for the first question. Let's do answer 2 now. I'm going to solve it here. So 2x and 10x are like terms. I'm going to add them directly. So this is going to give me 12x, and I'm going to move this 9 on the other side because I want to isolate the x. So 90 plus 9, sign is changed. So 99 is equal to 12x. Again, I have to isolate. So I'm going to remove the 12 by dividing with it. So x is going to be 99 divided by 12, and if you convert it into decimal, it is going to be 8.25. That's the answer. Let's do answer 3 here. So for answer 3, you have to have this is variable on each side of the equation. So here also x, here also x. I'm going to move it on the other side and the 42 on the other side. So what does it become? It becomes, just a minute, 15x minus 12x, sign is changed, and 51 minus 42, sign is changed. So 51 minus 42 is 9, and this is 3x. So I'm going to divide by 3 both sides. So x is going to be 3. That's the answer. Let's do Answer 4, the last one, again in a similar way, I'm going to move this 9x on the other side and this one, sorry, this 31 on the other side. So what does it become? 31 comes on the other side, becomes positive. So 31 plus 1 is going to be equal to 17x minus 9x. Sign is changed. So this is going to be 8x equal to 32. Divide by 8 both sides. So x is going to be 4. That's your answer. Very, very simple. We are just solving for x here. Okay, use the figure to identify angles and parts of angles that satisfy each condition. The figure is given to you. There are some points, some angles, some vertices which are here. So name the vertex of angle 1. Let's go to angle 1. This is angle 1. So as you see, angle 1 is drawn here. I'm going to change the color to show you. So this is angle 1. So it starts from the vertex A. So the answer for the vertex is A. Then the sides of angle 4. This is angle 4, so its sides are CA or AC and CD or DC. Okay, what is the other name for angle 3? For angle 3, another name is ADC or CDA. Any way you can say. You have to make sure that for angle 3, the vertex is D, so it has to be always in the center when you are naming. Angles are named using this convention, angle convention, and sides are written in a way in which you have the arrows. So be careful, don't confuse between both of them. What is the another name for angle CAD? CAD. Can I say it is angle 1 or DAC? So both are correct. This is the answer. This is the last concept of part 1, where you are going to look at complementary and supplementary angles. And here the important thing to remember is that complementary angles add up to give you a measure of 90, to give you a right angle, whereas supplementary angles add up to give you a measure of 180. Okay, so if I have two complementary angles, their sum will be 90. So I can write angle A and B, for example, they are complementary, so they are going to add up to give 90, and angle C and angle D, if they are supplementary, they are going to add up to give you 180. So you can look at the examples and the figures given here. One is 30, one is 60, so they add up to give you 90, so complementary. One is 110, one is 70, they add up to give you 180, so they are supplementary. 67 plus 23 gives you a 90, so complementary. 135 plus 45 gives you 180, so they are supplementary. Now why this concept is included in the scheme of work is that you may get word problems on complementary and supplementary angle, and the concept that you are going to use for the complementary and supplementary angle word problems is that if one angle is x, the other complementary angle. So let me write in this way. First angle is x, then the second angle would be 90 minus x. This is going to work when you have complementary angle, because in that case the sum is 90. And the second point that is going to work, I'm going to change color, is that if the first angle is say x or angle x, then the second angle, this points that I'm giving you are going to help you for solving the word problems on complementary and supplementary angle. The second angle is going to be, because this is now supplementary, so 180 minus x. So whenever you get a word problem, make sure you are choosing your angles in this way for complementary and supplementary. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Video was useful for all my grade 8 elite students who are going to give the coming exam, and if it did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell icon so that you are notified when I put the new video. The part 2 video is going to come very shortly, before Friday inshallah, so stay glued to the channel, and please share this video with all your friends from different schools who are going to give the exam from grade 8 elite, so that they can also benefit from the video and get good marks. Until then, this is Ms. Ruchika signing off from today's session. See you in my next video. Bye students.